I've got spare parts from my last broken heart. Somehow more than what I had to start. Yeah, I've got spare parts. I tried to fix it best I remembered it. I hope it runs when I fire it up, 'cause I got spare parts. So if you see something that you might need, anything you can use, what's left of it might be a perfect fit, 'cause I got spare parts. Took a piece of you, like lovers often do. I'll try to make it good as new, 'cause I got spare parts. So if you see something that you might need, anything you can use, what's left of it might be the perfect fit, 'cause I've got spare parts. What's left of it might be the perfect fit, 'cause I've got spare parts.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
All right, Donnie. Time to rock and roll, man. Out your cot in your socks. I can't see you, Ghost. Help me out. Donnie? You left me again, Blaze Man. Blaze Man, can you cue up that video with the airborne troops?
You want that now?
Hey, are you with me today, Donnie? What the fuck's he doing? Oh. Well, we got a good show for us tonight, man. Mr. B's not going to be able to make it tonight. He's got the Maytag repairman at his household, checking on his dishwasher. I was thinking he was trying to look for an excuse to get out of today's show. But obviously, we're in good hands up there in Epping, New Hampshire at Mr. B's residence. First topic we're going to hit tonight is Joe Biden's competency to run office. Don, you got any questions on this before I roll the first video? Hello, Donnie. I ain't gonna do the airborne video, dude. I'm not gonna do the airborne
I am
videos.
so sorry.
Relax.
Hey, Demon,
So relax.
sorry about that, everyone. Appreciate it. Sorry about that. I had a little thing going on here to try to explain something here with somebody. How you doing, Demon?
I'm good,
Show the
sir.
airborne video. Show the airborne video. Go ahead if you want to show it. This dummy, I tell you, he probably does it on purpose. I swear I think he does it on purpose to try to land on top of that thing. Show
No,
it.
are you sure?
Go for it, bro.
Blazeman, can you cue that up for us to get us going on the right track?
Yeah, I'm trying to. There it is. Okay.
Dummy.
All right. I was trying to make Donnie happy when I said I couldn't find it.
Whatever.
So,
Whatever.
all right. This
No,
one's
man.
this one's for
No,
Donnie.
you know me, I'm good for a paratrooper, but sometimes we just do some dumb shit, man.
There you go.
They're like, all right,
Anybody gonna land on us? Oh no, we're good.
hit the road.
Oh, is he?
He's gonna hit the.
Nah.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, it's coming. It looks like to me.
Better watch out for that
And
thing.
you can't
No,
see them
no,
like you
no,
said,
no.
right?
Hit it!
What's that?
Hit it! Hell yeah! Let's go!
There it is. Not like
Wow. You can't steer them at all, can you, Donnie?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Oh, you
That's why I
can?
said when I said Sam, you saw that little tug. It looked like a little tug at the end. It looked like he's pulling them risers, man. He was trying to slow down.
Yeah, he
Hey,
done
was
fucked
it?
up.
Hey, what's that thing he lets go? It's like a big ass fanny pack. What's in there?
That's your rucksack.
Oh Jesus, man.
You got a lowering line, and you're lowering your rucksack. And your weapon, you could push it down in your case if you had a weapons case with you.
So, what do you think happened to that paratrooper discipline action?
Oh man. Oh, they're probably just like, you're gonna have enough trying to get healed up, dumbass.
But
So
that's,
they're probably, I don't know.
that's not grounds for Article 15.
No, you gotta prove that he tried to hit that thing on purpose. Come on. Are you really gonna give the guy Arc 15 for that destruction of government property bullshit? I don't think so.
I mean, the government property he destructing is his body.
I know, but I'm just gonna let you be a dumbass.
I gotta pay for them knees for the rest of his life.
Hey, he's sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but being labeled the dumbass in the airborne community is not always fun, man. So I don't know. That's some bad punishment, you know. I don't know.
And before we go to Joe Biden, man, your first response to me when I showed you this video was, "This dumbass did it on purpose. You couldn't take him to go see the man."
Yeah, I was like, dumbass did that on purpose.
All right, Blaze. Shit. Sorry, Don. I wanted to open up with that, man.
I know you, man. That dummy. Big dummy.
Yes,
So
sir.
you saw that nice little white snow, boy. Dang.
Yes. Well,
That was good sight, boy.
That's Alaska, right?
That's where you said. I thought you said that was up Joint Base Ellendorf Richardson, J Bear, something like that, right?
In Fort Richardson. Yes.
Yeah. If it's Fort Rich, yeah, that's J Bear. They call it Joint Base Richardson now. Or at least when I was leaving, that's what they were calling it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's up there that way. Okay. I know some of that area. Nice country.
Man, but it didn't look freezing cold out there, but fuck, the snow was about 3 feet, man.
It's all good, man. That's why you got your little snowshoes, bro. You do your little snowshoes. The little white boots, man. Pump the things with some air, nice and comfy. Keep your feet warm, change your socks. Good to go, bro.
All righty, everyone. I'm good. All right, Blaze, man. Let's start talking about our commander in chief. The one that's got the nuclear codes, and he's got NATO in town.
Yeah. Can he fucking do anything from 10 to 4? I mean, fuck, dude. That's the guy that's leading us. You know, John Stewart, he had an amazing little video. It was funny. But he made great points.
And who is that, bro?
Jon Stewart in his little late
Oh,
show or
oh,
whatever thing
oh.
he does. You know, for the love of God, give us something of leadership, please, just some sort of leadership.
You know, he's a bleeding liberal, Donnie. But I'll tell you what, he does a lot for the veterans, man. Veterans and 9/11 guys, man.
Yeah,
You
and
know, the
he's
firefighters.
yeah, he's all for public servants and all that. Yeah, the veterans, all that. I know. All right, so what we're watching on Joe Biden, we're going to talk about, is he competent enough to lead us? Is it valid for people to come and say, should he drop out of the bid? There's almost a dozen now that want him to drop out of the race.
But
that's your own people.
Yes, please, man. Can you hit that video, please, to give me and Donnie a little fire and ammunition? Thank you.
It is gearing up to be a crucial week for President Biden as he tries to fend off growing calls for a number of Democrats for him to step aside as the party's presidential nominee. The president was defiant while he was out campaigning in the key battleground state of Pennsylvania yesterday. Our Nancy Cordes joins us from the White House with more on all of this. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning, Errol. There was this long call that was held by the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries yesterday afternoon in which another group of House Democrats, 4 or so, spoke out saying that they believe that the president should leave the race. This came just as the president was campaigning across Pennsylvania, arguing that he is determined to stay in. And there is a growing sense here that this week is going to be pivotal for his future.
Facing headwinds within his own party, President Biden went looking for support in Pennsylvania Sunday and found it in the form of the governor, the Philadelphia mayor, and Pennsylvania's 2 senators.
There is only one person in the country that's ever kicked Trump's.
I hate when this happens.
In an election, and that is your president.
And yet, even as they spoke, the number of House Democrats pushing Biden to leave, both publicly and in a call of House Democrats, was nearing a dozen, as others stopped just short.
Either he has to win overwhelmingly or he has to pass the torch to someone who can't. It's as simple as that.
Biden's team insists voters are still on his side. He's making plans to travel to Michigan on Friday and Nevada and Texas next week. But the Pennsylvania voters CBS spoke to said they're still worried.
We've been Joe Biden supporters. He's a fantastic man, and he's done wonderful stuff, but it's time for him to leave.
Biden seems completely incompetent, seems like he can't hold a thought in his head, and Trump's a liar.
In an interview on Friday, Biden said there's just one thing that could lead him to step aside.
I mean, if the Lord Almighty came out and said, Joe, get out of the race, I'll get out of the race.
Biden will be busy this week, hosting NATO leaders at a summit here in Washington, D.C., and holding his first domestic solo press conference in 7 months. Congressional Democrats will be watching to see how he does.
Voters do have questions, and personally, I love Joe Biden. I don't know that the interview on Friday night did enough to answer those questions. And so I think this week is going to be absolutely critical.
A top Senate Democrat, Mark Warner, had been planning to convene a group of like-minded Senate Democrats to discuss President Biden's future because he's got concerns. But those plans had to be scrapped after news of the meeting was leaked. But it's just an indication of how fluid things are, Errol, particularly in the Senate. The White House has been trumpeting the fact that there have been no breaks in the ranks in the Senate, but that could change this week.
I'm so interested by that, Nancy, because if you think back 4 years ago, I was able to ask Vice President Biden about his cognitive ability if he would take a test, because both he and Trump were debating that topic. He scoffed, joked about it, said it's like, me, he called me a junkie for asking that question. It's 4 years later. The concern is the same with both candidates. But from your point of view, what is the concern level in the White House now when it comes to this topic? It doesn't seem to be something they're scoffing at anymore.
Right. And I think that the belief here is that if they can just make it through this week, Errol, things will get a lot easier for them because next week is the Republican National Convention. former President Trump is expected to announce his running mate. So the eyes of the political world will be turning away from the president, his woes, this White House, at least temporarily, and they'll be focused on Republicans. And there's a feeling here at the White House that that will grant Biden perhaps the reprieve he needs to kind of get over this. That's their hope anyway. And that puts more pressure on congressional Democrats who are on the fence, who likewise recognize that if they are going to make a statement, they need to do it now. They need to do it in concert. They need to try to get some congressional leaders to go along with them if they want to try to convince this president that it is time for him to leave the race.
All right.
Yes, Airborne. What you say, man?
Oh, I say, yeah, I
Go
think
left,
that's
go right.
yeah, slip away. No, Biden. I think Biden's done, man. There's donors that are dropping out on him, and there was another big. There was closed doors meetings today in the House and the Senate for Democrats, so they could air their grievances or whatever they want to say. And there's more and more people calling for him to step down. And I really just, I think a lot of it is going to play out to see who does Trump pick for his VP, because then they have maybe a chance to see how they can put their how they're going to replace Joe. You know, they can figure out how they're going to replace Joe on the ticket after, if I know who Trump's VP is, because we know who we can attack or something. You know what I mean? There's probably a scheme to that shit, you know?
You think the Democrats are waiting on that? I mean, and they're really good in keeping what's the term we use in the internet when you don't want nobody talking on the line? Fuck, man.
When we were secured?
Radio silence. Yes. Remember when the 6 elements would come out, radio silence, all elements, and you shut the fuck up. And the Democrat parties are real good at that. But I really see that now, as you just enlightened me on that. And I think Joe Biden wants to go on, and I think under this premise is that let me beat Donald Trump in November. Let me grow through January to get sworn in, and then he'll relieve himself for command. And Kamala Harris will step up, and the others will go as follows. And that would be the House of Representative leader as the vice president, correct?
I'm not sure, but okay.
Yeah.
And if that goes, who would that be? Would that be that Schumer dude or something?
No, and no. Oh, fuck. Schumer, I'm sorry, Donnie. I think you're right, but I just want to make a comment. Schumer says he's all in with Joe. The blind leading the blind. The fucking blind leading the blind.
Yeah,
Donnie.
that's the same dude that wants to make legislation against Trump acts now. But that same dude.
Yes, sir.
But that's another thing. That's another topic for later. We'll get into that a little bit later.
But
that's more shit.
Well, one thing that's been really bothering me about this whole Joe Biden non-cognitive state that he's in, and the people that surround him. We all know Joe Biden's in it for the money and the power. Because let's face it, when Joe Biden leaves office, the criminal network will dissolve. He's got fucking reverse mortgages. And I found this out a couple of days ago.
What?
On all reverse mortgages, equity loans, I believe he took out in his homes at the top dollar, man. And
oh Lord.
Yes.
So that coincides with our economy being fucked up and being like it is. If personal finances are fucked up.
He has no clue. He has no clue. But my biggest punch in the gut is Hunter Biden. If I had a fucking felony on my record, I wouldn't even be allowed to be on the exterior wall. They would be eyeing me from the fucking roof. And what the fuck's he doing? What is he doing in there? He is a convicted federal felon. Period. What is he doing in there?
Bro, he's still the president's, son. So he still gets all that immediate family danger. There needs to be something that Joe Biden needs to step up and say, hey, no. Okay, now we have an issue with, image and ethics and shit now. But that's not the Biden family. So why are you expecting that? Why would you expect that? That's not the Biden family. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe it's from my upbringing, not only from my parents, but if you're wrong, you're fucking wrong. You're wrong.
Right.
Wait a minute. Let me just add this, and then you can attack me. Roger, airborne.
Got it.
Airborne. Come on, give me a little airborne. Come on.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, airborne.
Wolf 2-6, this is line 9 over.
Hey, dude.
I understand. I'm not.
Come on, bro.
A PLF, baby. A PLF. I understand. I'm not. Yes, sir. I understand. I'm not at that same level of finance. But hot damn, dude. When is this shit gonna stop? That fucking Biden family has disgraced that White House. We had fags hitting it in one conference room in the Senate. We found cocaine in the White House, the most secured place in the White House.
I know. That's where I'm saying. Take that video. We talked again. The guy said when that same gentleman was saying he got to talk to when it was then Vice President Biden who is running for the ticket. And they had the same question about his cognitive ability. They had the same questions 4 years ago. Here we are 4 years now. We're asking, and he gets mad about it. There's people that are coming out that work on his staff and his aides. They say they can't approach him because he gets pissed off if you would disagree with him and he throws tantrums. They say he's just as bad as fucking Trump.
No, he's worse than Trump. No, whatever the left. Go ahead, airborne. Sorry.
No, but I'm saying with his conduct, the way he treats people and how he's trying to run and envision things, they say he's just as fucking bad right now. And you only get him for 6 hours a day, because after that it's got to take my naps and we got to get ready for bed.
And you get these little Gen Z kids, which are very smart. I could see them at the workplace. Hey, Joe Biden only works 6 hours a day. Don't forget my hour lunch break, so that only gives me 5 hours. I'm busting smoke.
Yeah. Hey, if that's good enough for POTUS, good enough for POTUS, why ain't good for me, man?
Donnie, you always talk about us leading by example. Always. Always. This is the example we have.
Exactly. This is what you have on the Democratic side. Take all of it together. Now, and I'm not going to sit here and I'm not saying Trump is any. I agree with the one gentleman on the video. He's like, Biden can't hold the thought together and Trump's a liar. Yeah, he's fucking spot on. He can't explain that better. So that's the choices we have. Come on. The Democrats got to do better than that, bro. But wasn't it you or somebody else when it was still the rabbit hole or something? We were talking about how at some point Biden was going to bow out and hand it over to Kamala, so he could say he's part of the first one to, help get a woman elected after he said he was proud to be one of the first women to work for, he called himself a woman.
You know what the legal term is used on the court stage, on the court stand by analysts looking at the witness? Conscience of guilt. Conscience of guilt. That's what he has. To the black folks, the Hispanics, he never really cared for, with him or anything like that. But he's got a lot of guilt. He has a lot of fucking guilt.
Well, what guilt would he have for all the nice little crime laws they were doing back in, what was that, the 80s and 90s or whatever, the war on drugs, the 3 strikes you're out, when Biden was in the Senate, harping on the thing about put them in jail and lock them up and they're no good to society, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, sir.
Talk about all that guilt.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
bro.
But,
yes.
but I mean, but just forget about all that shit in the past. Think about the next 4 years of our future. Do we really need someone who can barely hold a sentence as the one that gets to make final decisions on a variety of what could be military style attacks across the globe? Right?
Yes, Don.
Because look at the way the world is right now. Where are we fighting at? We're fighting in the Middle East still. We're fighting in Ukraine. We're proxy warring over with fucking in the Asia area. Fucking around heavily in the Middle East, with the naval side. You know what I mean? And we're going to have a dude that can barely hold it together 6 hours a day with, the authority to, give these commanders the, information and the permissions that they need. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because these commanders
Yes.
got to make real-time decisions with lives on the line. As many of the places we're fighting and securing around the world, and this is what we got.
Yes. No. And it goes to, before we go to break, and I'll just hit on this a little bit. During the Biden and Trump debate, Biden said he didn't lose not one soul overseas while he's been in command. Wow, he forgot to think about the Afghan withdrawal. I was looking for a verb to describe it in a way that is just like what chaos, complete
Afghan
chaos.
debacle, the debacle. Absolute debacle. It was just pathetic.
So Biden played that little stupid losers and suckers thing with him, and he incorporated his deceased son into that conversation. And then and then Trump defended but hear this out. And I'm not too staunch of Trump when it comes to military and what he does and what he doesn't. I'm a very heavy critiqued on him on that. But he did say one thing, and it really stuck to me. He says, yeah, and I fired that guy that started spreading them rumors. He was a 4-star general, bro. And I think it was his chief of staff, Kelly or Mad Dog. But anyways, he says, but you in return, Biden, what happened to the 13? He didn't fire one general. No, he didn't. He didn't fire not one general, Donnie.
Oh, I know, but
Mackenzie, the clown at Dill Sitcom. We saw him a lot on Zoom and shit during the withdrawal and stuff and the questions and stuff. And I'm like, where are the Pattons? Where are the Omar Bradleys? Where's the General Schwarzkopfs?
don't have.
No. Where's the Dana Petards out of here at Fort Bliss? A potential up star within the Army, but he fucked up, and he said when a soldier kills himself, he's being selfish to us and utmost to his family because we have to clean up the mess. And that was denied him his 4th star, bro, into bigger and better things. On that note, we'll be right back. And Donnie, you'll take us from there, brother. Thank you.
Well, I've got spare parts from my last broken broken heart. Somehow more than what I had to start. Yeah, I've got spare parts. I tried to fix it best I remembered it. I hope it runs when I fire it up, 'cause I got spare parts. So if you see something that you might need, anything you can use, what's left of it might be a perfect fit, 'cause I got spare parts. Took a piece of you, like lovers often do. I'll try to make it good as new, 'cause I got spare parts. So if you see something that you might need, anything you can use, what's left of it might be the perfect fit, 'cause I've got spare parts. What's left of it might be the perfect fit, 'cause I've got spare.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted
All right. We're back. That was a quick break, man. Did you get the twinkle or anything, Donnie, for your break?
Yeah, I got my little Kit Kat, man, my little chocolate, but I just gotta acknowledge and say hello to her, dude. And I do remember a time when Biden said something about if you don't about not voting for him, you're not black enough or some bullshit like that. I'm like, remember, this is the guy you're saying is gonna lead you now. And yeah, no.
Hey, you know,
the confidence level is not there, bro. When can you say enough is enough?
Yes.
And who is going to be there to replace him? What's the thing? Because you know that comes down to money. That 231 million that's got Kamala's name on it too, right?
Yes, and that's the only one that can use that money that's tied up with the DNC right now, correct?
Right. That's the way I understand it. What I can see and read on, on the internet, and you hear people talking on the phone and whatnot, the so-called experts and shit, So that goes back to that play of, well, who's going to be his VP choice? Because now we got to make a choice that's going to run against his VP, that we can dominate his VP, right? And
yes.
The same thing Trump. He's trying to, does he really want to hold out on his VP choice too? I would. I'd try to figure out who they're going to go first. I mean, go ahead, bro.
Trump, and you ain't black. Figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. It don't have nothing to do.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. See, we brought color into a situation we really don't need to.
No.
That guy, if that's.
And I understand what the producer was trying to do there, you know.
I think there's so many more. Oh. There's so many more legitimate. There's so many more legitimate issues that you could talk about this dude that have more substance than, you know, because he popped off the mouth some color back in the day, you know.
Yeah, but I just don't know how this man wakes up and say, does he know what day it is? Why doesn't his advisors just tell him, Joe, you're in your second term already. It's time to give it to Kamala. I mean, they can play this. They can play this right on up, man. He bite into it, Donnie.
Oh, I think they could, but who are they going to put with Kamala? Is there, like, you know, you got to think about that, because I don't think Newsom cuts it. And, you know, once again, there's a color thing that came into the situation about some big caucus or some big group down in South Carolina, and there was a lady saying, you know, she more or less said, put a white man up on that president stage on the ticket as president and keep Kamala at VP, and you know, you kiss our ass, you think you're getting our fucking vote. You know what I mean? That's basically what they were saying, you know, and I'm like, damn. Which I get it. I could see their point. You know?
Yeah, I just think the black folks are done messing with the Democratic Party, you know. And Blaze, man, can you put that second cut in, please? Post-debate poll reveals. Thank you, sir.
All right, so let's look at some hypothetical matchups. First off, 538 says the approval rating on Joe Biden is 37.5. Harris is 39.4. So you can't automatically say Harris is least popular. She's getting more popular than Joe Biden, but that's not saying much. Michelle Obama would be the strongest foe against Donald Trump, but she's not going to run. Word is, though, she is raising money for a possible Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket. Harris against Trump, Trump wins. Newsom against Trump, Trump by 7. Whitmer against Trump, that's going to be, that would be 5. And the governor of Kentucky, Beshear, against Trump, it is Trump by 4. Pritzker does a terrible job in Illinois. He loses by 6. So these are some of the people like Governor Shapiro not up there that you would think might be likely if there was no Joe Biden. If he had stepped aside, these are the people that probably would have thrown their hat in the ring. The question is, they could still throw their hat in the ring in 4 years. Why would they jump in against Donald Trump in the next 4 months? Because once you're a loser, you're a loser.
Yeah, but Brian, also to that point, which I think
and it's got to be Kamala Harris,
which I think is the best point, because some of the Republicans wish they would have stayed out of it. They could have just waited.
Right. But they tried. They were allowed. That's an open party.
That's exactly right. But why would Joe Biden get out? Looking at that, it's not like the alternatives are going to be better for the party right now. At least it's a dead heat between the former president. I mean, the latest polling shows that Trump is up +6, but at least there's a fight to be had between Joe Biden.
Well, he's got the 1,000 delegates, and it's up to him. And they're going to rush. Evidently, they're going to go for July 18th. They're looking to just give him the nomination, quickly get it.
Got to move it up early.
But the other thing that I think is underappreciated is that Joe Biden's universe. You think he's got the whole White House, he's got the whole party. He's got 4 people. He's got his wife, he's got his sister, he's got Jeff Zients and Ron Klain, and a couple other names. And those are the only people that talk to him. So he's able to say it insulated. And then when you find out, he gave that speech when he first got the job, and he said, you know, if you treat us.
So, we're not done with this video, correct, Donnie?
No, I don't think so.
Boy, I love that Lawrence Jones.
Yeah,
he brought up a good point. You know, he's a born Texan, right?
Okay. So his point that you want to bring up?
He's the smartest man in the table, and when we succeed from the nation, the union, we're bringing him along too, and we'll take one of them white ones.
Okay.
I'm joking, Donnie. I'm joking. No, but he brings up a good point. That who else is a better alternative besides Michelle Obama?
Exactly. Who else is out there? And that's where I think the Democrats are really, it's going to be a struggle to figure out who is it that we can team up with Kamala to, keep the money going, and we can keep the votes, because they're still going to worry about the, oh, we got to get this vote, that vote, the black vote, the Hispanic vote, the grassroots votes, but, all that stuff. You know what I mean? They got to find somebody. They got to get somebody, because
Donnie, isn't it too late? Isn't it too late though to move these
no, they're
monies
saying
around?
no. They're saying no. That's why that's the one of the biggest reasons why Kamala's name keeps circling around when it comes to he still being on the ticket, and how they could maybe push her to be the presidential pick, so they could still use that money, and it's real easy. From what I understand, if they don't use it like that, then it has to go back to donors. But we all know what happens when money starts going back to people that gave it to them. Shit gets lost and stuff, right?
Yes, yes.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really got to figure out. But there's a lot of people that say Kamala has never really set any kind of standards about where she stands on certain, key issues or whatever, and not really big in policy making and blah blah blah. So that's her downfalls or some stuff, and that's why they say she won't lose. But
Donnie, but how can she express herself unless if you're a third grader in fucking elementary school, when she's talking about the yellow bus is the bus? So she talks kind of condescending at times.
I know, and she does at times.
And she did that a lot on the Senate floor, a lot.
Yeah, right. But here's another thing too: the Democratic Party's bitching about it, but who sets their schedule and all that? And it's your party. You're the guys that are, who's involved in that. You know what I mean? So don't cry and complain that you don't have this done. You kind of set yourself up for that. If you want to, you know what I mean?
She
set them up for success at least.
Yes, Donnie. Yes, it's just like that little E5 bucking for E6, right? He doesn't stay in his vehicle all day. He looks stupid. He does stuff. He explains what the equipment does to the younger generation. She don't do none of that, Donnie.
I know, but that's not. Don't come up now and talk about it's like someone's fault or whatever. It's like, no, that's your downfall. Then you need to fix it. I don't know. Don't come using it like it's some kind of excuse not to. No, I don't want to hear that.
But she's gonna pull out the card.
Ain't no one listening to that card no more, bro. I don't think anybody's listening to that shit no more.
Yes. People are tired of it, Donnie.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm listening. That's what I'm saying. Nobody cares about that no more.
But they will.
I know they will. They will when it comes down to dollars. They will. That's just the way it goes. Nobody gives a shit about it until it comes down to dollars. And when dollars come into play, oh well, hold on now. We gotta make sure we're getting it where we gotta go now. And people get concerned. So, but
I just want to add this little comment here real quick. Is that the left-wing media has been talking, Trump is a dictator, he thinks he's a king, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and all it was playbook comments from the DNC, and it kills me. It does. It just drives me a little crazy when Biden starts talking about shit that Trump has done or is projected to do in the near future. Is that's Biden's footprints all over that. All over that.
Yes, some of that. Yes, that's why you look at that. I think we got to play some more of this video, but that'll lead us more into that Project 2025 bullshit that they keep trying to throw about Trump. That's not all Trump. That's some other stuff too. And I think that's something where, like, the House, they're worried too. These Democrats, you read a lot of articles, they're worried about losing the House. And I'm sorry, I kind of agree with them on that one. The Democrats, they got to keep the Senate or something. There's no way you can have a, Republican trifecta. This place will go to shit, man. No. You know what I mean? There's no way.
Yeah,
Those do too much bullshit. We got to get rid of this and that and this and that. No, you don't. Calm your ass down. You know what I mean?
Just throwing a tease out there for Project 25. That's the principles and guidelines that the Republican the conservative want to
That's
go.
That's the conservative think tank guy. Yes. Yes, it's a think tank in their conservative group, a bunch of conservative groups, yes. But we'll get into it. Was there a video gonna go right now, or are we gonna
we're gonna continue this one?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You subordinate, without respect, you will be fired. Word is, people are afraid to approach him. He bites everybody's head off. They're afraid to brief him on things he doesn't like. Yeah. When they disagree with his recommendation, he screams and he yells. So they shake around him. Right. So what kind of White House is this? We're run by 4 people who are friendly with a guy that can only work between 10 and 4.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Looking at the poll, and I think that's right. If Michelle Obama wanted to run against Donald Trump, she would beat him ultimately.
Until she got exposed.
Right. But the other names on that sample right there, a lot of people don't know who Whitmer or Bashir or Pritzker are just by name recognition. It's interesting. There's a story in the New York Times right now about how, big donors are going to be watching the polls over the last 2 weeks. They started early to try to force him out, and that kind of fizzled. But the American Bridge had a call yesterday and only a dozen donors spoke out. Only one person was supporting Joe Biden. Some donors are calling Gavin Newsom, saying, "Will you get in?" And apparently, some other donors are calling the top guy over at J.P. Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon. Jamie, will you be the savior? In the past,
this is a pipe dream.
Listen, he has said in the past, I'm not going to run, but it was before Thursday. Keep in mind, Thursday, the debate revealed everything. But that changed everything.
This hypothetical matchup proves that Democrats have no other option. They have no other path forward. I mean, Michelle Obama is not going to run with 4 months to go. And the other thing is that the Biden-Harris campaign, that money is theirs. It doesn't transfer over to any other candidate.
Could be just hers.
Right.
So that's what's going on with the Democrats, but also other polling shows that Trump is so far ahead of Biden on the issues outside of the performance. He is up 20 points when it comes to the economy and immigration, and those are the top 2 issues that Americans are focusing on right now. This CNN poll also shows that President Biden's approval rating is at 37%.
There is a lot to learn from this situation. I hope the press, the Democrats, learn a lot of lessons from this. First of all, don't lie to the American people. Don't pretend like people are crazy, because the truth eventually comes out. Number 2, don't usurp the process of the primary system. When voters have a right, when there were 70% of Democrats saying they wanted a different candidate, they should have gave them a primary process. They wouldn't be in this situation if they would allow the debate happen. If Joe Biden won, great. The third thing is the press. You can't cover for political parties, even if you don't like the other guy. There were stories for years now, but you guys did not run it. You guys have seen the president, just like we have seen. He's been spaced out in meetings, not remembering things, shuffling all over the place. You called for the 25th Amendment with Donald Trump when there was no reason to do so. Yeah. Over 200 times. He gave you 2 medical exams, and that still wasn't enough. So do your job, and you don't have to wait to the end of the process to start talking about replacing your candidate.
But you know why he got it? He got it because the midterms were not a red wave, and he got it because they thought for sure if Trump's the nominee, and they predicted correctly, they thought he would be, it's going to be all about Trump, and he could just sit back, do his job, let the surrogates work. They didn't think it was going to collapse. They didn't think Trump would be this strong. They didn't think lawfare would fail so epically as it had to this point. And now all of a sudden look around and said, everything we counted on has fallen apart. And Trump is not going to give it to you. Trump is not going to turn around and do something that's going to change the narrative. You tried to do it with immunity. Also underappreciated, after his failure on the debate. They won 4 days and tried to go business as usual. They put him out there, and that got really infuriated. Never reached out to Congress or leaders. That infuriated.
Thank you, Blaze.
Hey, that man said something very interesting. Doing the guy with the blue tie, he said lawfare didn't work. So damn, that's what we're calling it now. What they did against Trump. I mean, if they got people, we're calling it lawfare, and there's damn, that's not good, man. That's not good.
No, that completely backfired on the Biden campaign. You know, that thought that was going to smear him. Watch his polls go down. It did the total opposite.
Fuck no, it kept him in the race. It kept him funded.
Yes, and that's I had it. Well, there goes United Southern Freight 6712 going from California to use liberal fucks up there in Massachusetts, so y'all can have your tampons and stuff.
Damn it, man. That's not supposed to come for a little while still. Sorry.
No, that train is a sign of capitalism of this country. It's not transporting humans, it's transporting products to serve America.
Yep. And they transport a lot of frames for all the vehicles we drive on. Like there's nothing but frames, carts of frames, about a dozen of them right now passing by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Trailer frames, car frames, everything.
Hey, you know what I got excited though on that video? One, I'm not excited. I'm a little disappointed in Mr. Lawrence. He needs to be wearing cowboy boots when he's on stage on Fox and News and Friends. And he's a regular there now. He's a regular.
Come on.
Nah, the brother doing good, man. I'm proud of him, man. And he loves guys like you, Donnie.
Okay. But what was your point?
Jamie Dimon. Hell yeah. That would be a hell of a Democratic candidate.
Who is that?
Jamie Dimon, the president.
That's the guy.
President. Go ahead.
The finance guy, or whatever. The president of the finance company or whatever.
I think it's Chase Bank.
Okay, so we're gonna put him. He's gonna be the president.
Why? So, Trump did it. Trump was worth more than him.
Okay, does he have any desire to want the job?
No. And if you were no, I don't think so. But it just struck me that they brought his name up as contenders. And then another thing, you got these heavy donors calling Newsom like, hey, Gavin, you remember when you went to the White House 2 years ago, measured curtains while Biden was overseas during the D-Day celebration? You know?
Oh yeah, there's some serious people that want him off, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen because they're not going to find anybody that's going to. What track record does anybody else have to run off of compared to Trump? Trump can say, I was president. Whoever's sitting across, if it's not Joe Biden, they haven't been at the level he's been at.
No, that's true. Yeah, you know, I think this is the worst I've ever seen this country. Not only in its social construct, you know, we're battling the culture of today's society with the younger youth. It's everything else, man. The world is on fire.
Oh yeah.
Donnie, I just don't know. You know, back in the day, we'd focus on Ukraine, and that was it. Now, shit, man, we're focused on the Philippines, focused on Taiwan, the Taiwan Strait. Africa's getting a little stupid again.
Bro, the war machine moves on. The war machine moves on. We know this. We know it's the war machine, bro. It's the war machine. It profits. Look at the oligarchs. I saw an article earlier when I was, waiting on something. I was just goofing off on my phone. most of them, a dozen or so oligarchs over there in Russia, they've already made $11 billion, in Russian money, whatever, rubles or whatever. They're making out like fat rats tonight. They've never been happier because the war machine is just producing so much money. And I think that war machine at this point is what keeps this global economy running. I think the war machine is starting to become a global entity. It's not just America that they want. I think there's other countries that are starting to see. Russia's starting to see. My economy's booming during wartime. I got to get my shit together. Let me start some bullshit somewhere.
Yeah.
The Arabian area, the Middle East is going to be what it's going to be because you have just two extremes conflicting. You know what I mean? So you're never going to end that. But even for all the Hezbollah and all the little small proxy groups from Iran, Hamas and all this other shit, they're profiting. ISIS, they're profiting from all of this black market sales and all this other shit. It's fucking booming, Demas. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir. No, and I agree totally, man. But we need some kind of different type of leadership, and you can keep the money going with affiliations, i.e., NATO. Just like we did with the Cold War in Germany, and I go back to that all the time. Fuck, and Trump was right. NATO did not pull their fair share. The U.S. Army did in Germany. We had about 250,000 soldiers going strong in Germany.
Okay.
U.S. soldiers, 2 corps, bro.
I got you with that, but let's think about what we're fighting now. We're not fighting that same type of war, and let's really look at what, as the United States, can we really defend everywhere, or is it better? Is it for our betterment that we train a lot of our NATO allies, supply them with, what is good equipment, superior to the enemy but inferior to us, right? Let me supply you. Let me get you to fight that. Now let me sit back and play puppeteer. You know what I mean? I don't think that's too dumb. I'd rather do that. Let Poland and let all them fuck around with Russia all the time. We'll supply. We'll do what we do. Yeah, play some proxies. Just make sure more of that money's getting spent. At least that's I will give Biden that. Biden is doing everything he can to make sure a lot of that money and all them aid packages is getting spent right in our borders, resupplying us because we're, giving all our stuff away and we're buying new for us. So I like that. At least we'll give him that. It's probably kept our ass going.
And that's what North Korea is doing with Russia right now when it comes to ammunition.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this war machine that everybody talks about, that, in the U.S., U.S. wants to be at war. I don't think it's just the U.S. anymore. There's a lot of people that are enjoying this around the globe. Even in South America, Venezuela, and some of them, they're making money because what? They're exporting oil like crazy. Because they're like, fuck you, U.S. Your sanctions don't mean shit to us in the BRICS nations or the BRICS agreement. Those of us that are agreeing like Venezuela with Russia. I'll sell Russia all the fucking oil I want to. Fuck you. You got no sanctions over me, right? So I'll go make money. I mean, that dude down there in Honduras or somewhere else too, San Salvador, hey, we're open for business, man. They're not thinking. They know what's up. So.
Yes, sir. On that note, time for the old breaky, Donnie. We'll be back in 3 minutes. We'll see you then.
My name is Steven, your public relations officer at FFN Media Network. We believe that every story deserves to be heard. Every voice deserves to be amplified, and every idea deserves to shine. As a small media company, we are committed to creating a platform where content creators, visionaries, and changemakers like you can thrive. You might say to yourself, why do we need FFN Network? Well, let me tell you what we can do for you. 1. Our mission is simple: empower, elevate, and engage. We are not just another media outlet. 2. Our producers will help you build your show, add content, and put you on 15 different platforms. 3. We help you promote your show. Whether it is through captivating articles, thought-provoking videos, or inspiring podcasts, we are here to help you make a difference. What sets us apart? At FFN Media Network, we embrace hard work. Our team of talented producers and creators come from all social classes, ensuring that our content reflects a rich tapestry of experiences, cultures, and viewpoints. Join the FFN team. Join FFN Media Network and be part of a community that celebrates creativity, authenticity, and positive impact. Let us amplify your voice and share your story on FFN Network and with the world. Get to know our founder, Blaise St. Pierre, the new guy in the media industry. So if you have a great idea for a show or a business and want to place an ad on FFN Network, give us a call at 774-704-5145 or email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com and join the FFN Network family. Thank you. FFN Network.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
All right, Donnie. What you got, Airborne?
No, I thought we were gonna go through that Project 2025 stuff. We had a little video. Talk
Yes,
about
sir.
what people are we really gonna think he can do this?
Yes, sir. Please.
2025. Let me really quick explain Project 2025. Well, first off, it's a 922-page document created by the Heritage Foundation, a right-wing conservative think tank. Oh, and by the way, it was created 2 years ago. What it really is perfect marketing for the Democrats, because right now you're about to see Biden step down. The only way they could beat Trump at this last-minute emergency is by something like Project 2025. Really interesting timing that they're bringing up Project 2025 right after the fact that I think everybody can see that Joe Biden cannot run for president again, including people in the Democrat Party. You got Rob Reiner, ultra riding with Biden, who's literally like, he's got to go. Nadler, they're all saying it. So what do? You combat the fact that the Democrats have a failing narrative by creating a media stir around something written 2 years ago that has nothing to do with Donald Trump, but they're making it about him, making it about the Hitler-esque picture, making it about the dystopian, crazy Handmaid's Tale. It's marketing. That's what Project 2025 is, and it's made by the Republicans, made by the Heritage Foundation, and being used by the Democrats. Remember, it's never about who the Democrat nominee is. It's about how they can beat Trump.
From a Valentine's Day...
Yes, that's what it's always been about, is how can we beat Trump? I mean, that's any political or, race or whatever. How do you beat your opponent? Yeah, but I just, the narrative across that. And there's another video or something, too, I'm thinking that gave us a little bit more meat and potatoes on that, about what exactly is on that agenda. And Trump's distancing himself from this leftover right every chat. I ain't got nothing to do with it. And even the owner now that has come under such scrutiny of that Heritage think tank, I read some article, he's talking about, well, it's just a playbook and it's just an idea. It's up to the presidents and the other people to put it into play. Well, what's your playbook? And,
here's a couple that are key aspects of 2025 project. Restructuring the federal government, and I see that. Expending presidential power. Ooh, that's...
Yes.
That's a big attendance up, man, for the liberals.
Yes,
That's a
yes,
big attendance up. Come on, man.
yes, yes. We
The,
don't.
the next one is policy changes and dismantling certain federal agencies like the Department of Education. We should have done that a long fucking time ago. I mean, our kids ain't
What?
getting smarter.
Okay, but where are we going to put to what standard then? Think about that.
States.
Think about that for a minute.
States.
Okay, you're going to give the states the standards. So now, how are federal dollars going to be allocated to states? Because if my state is like Alaska, where it's not so, it's no more rural, whatever. The populations are farther apart, blah blah blah. You got that in the rural areas. The more urban areas is more condensed. What? So is there going to be a score, or is everybody going to get the same? You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. But all right, federal funding that includes the meal programs. I know the government pays for that. What else do they pay for? The Department of Education. What money do they get? Because they sure the fuck property taxing the fuck out of us, and that's all school districts. That's the first thing on your property tax bill.
Yeah, but those are those local school districts. On a federal level, though, that's where I think the Department of Education could use. They could use restructuring. I'm not going to say they totally gut them. We need to have some kind of level to say, hey, this is the standard of high school to graduate, or these are the standards for this. There's got to have that accreditation, because if you just leave it up to individual states, then you're going to do blanket federal money then. But then somebody's going to try to come up with some scheme to tie dollars to scores, grade scores, or some shit. I mean, I don't think that Department of Education needs to get that far in advance. I think they need to more worry about standards and policies of academic standards. You need to have some of that overlapping. You got to have some people overlooking that. So I don't think you can just scrap the Department of Education. I think they need to get out of the monetary side of it. Are you about education or are you about money? Which one?
Donnie, it goes to this, man. The abortion thing, the Republicans say, let's give it to the states. What are the Democrats crying about? And all they're crying about is the funding.
Right.
The funding.
Right, because they don't give a shit about the individual. They can sit there and tell you that all they want. No, it's about funding. It's always about dollars.
Yes, sir. And I'm over here trying to find out the smartest students in the United States, 2022. But I think it's gonna take me to colleges. I knew that. But
yeah.
Shit, we can always look at the top 14 countries in the world. I'm pretty sure we're not even there. Singapore is number one.
No.
Macau,
No.
Hong Kong. Why shouldn't? Wait a minute. I'm still looking for United States. I'm at 10 right now. No United States. I just passed China. And I'm being a smart ass here. United States is not in the top 14. Nope. But I'm pretty sure we throw a fat paycheck to these states to try to do something.
So you're bitching about rankings, but then you're not. You got to worry about policy then. So who's going to administer policy?
No, the point I'm trying to make is that we've been giving these clowns in these school districts and these teachers unions blabbing. We're giving them a lot of money, and what has our product been?
Not a lot. Not good. What?
So why should we have a Department of Education, even if the standards are not met?
Well, then that's where you're talking about accountability. That's a different thing you're talking about, dude. That's where accountability comes in. And we got to start really honestly having an honest discussion about what is the value of school. And what is it that you're going to get out of school? Not everybody's going to college anymore. Not everybody wants to go to college. They want to go to tech school. They want to learn a trade. So now we really got to have a serious conversation about what is the purpose of our education system. If you really want to disassemble and get rid of the Department of Education, just one thing, you got to have it. What are we preparing them for? Because right now, I don't think you prepare them for adulthood. I don't think they're well prepared. That in high school, where you can say, "Oh, it was better back then," whatever. I just think they better prepared us for life after high school than they do now. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
let's get to that reality and stop thinking everybody. Not everybody's smarter with a college education, and not a lot of people learn that way anymore. They don't care. They're hands on. There's a lot of technology to help out now. You know what I mean?
yes. California, real quick. Gavin Newsom, he wants to eliminate $10 billion from the schools. And you got teachers union going crazy. They're talking about larger class sizes, no nurses, no sports. I didn't see anything on music, and larger class sizes. That means less teachers, and yes, going to be less teachers in the school system.
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to state tables by state. That's what I'm looking for, Donnie.
I'm just saying, there's a lot on that project 2025 that is absolutely absurd, and like there's a lot. And I'm trying to get Blaze to see if he sees the video. There was a female that would break it down, and she was saying on what page, that says this, it says that, and they talk a lot in there about building the border walls and fencing things up, but that's something
Blaze,
that there's Democrats that are calling for that now.
On
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm working on this with Donald. Yeah,
Right.
he's sending me the proper information. I'm just not. There's no link to the YouTube video.
Okay.
I just sent it to you again.
So let me go to Force.
Yeah, you did, but you sent it to me actually 3 times. But all it has is a YouTube link. It doesn't send me to the video you're trying to send it to me. So you get it up, I'll put it up.
So society, social and cultural shifts. It seeks to infuse government policies with conservative Christian values, including rejecting abortion as healthcare and eliminating DEI programs.
See,
that one I think you have a hard time swallowing, Donnie.
What's that?
Infusing Christian values.
Well, yeah, there's propaganda people wanting to take it a little too far, and I don't know. You always got people that want to do that, but what values are we preaching? Because that's more my question. What values? What do you mean by your values or my values? All right, you know what I mean? Are we talking Judeo-Christian, Bible? You want to do all that?
I want a good man's values.
Right. Are we talking just, human decency to each other?
Yes. And we need to educate folks on that, Donnie.
No, I'm with you, man, but that's what I'm saying. There's got to be that line.
Donnie, every time you've walked in the store before a lady, and I've seen this, you hold that door open, sir. Who instilled that into you?
Right?
Yeah, but maybe we can. How do we get that value that's automatic to you to our younger population? Not only opening the door for an older lady, but all other things. Hello, don't ghost on me, bro.
That's where you have to talk to somebody and not yell at people and get all mad just because they don't like your opinion.
Yes.
You can't text this shit all the time. You got to talk to somebody. You got to interact. You can't be out there by yourself, all in a room by yourself. Okay, well, Blaze, play the video. Let's get a little bit more on what it Actually, Project 2025 is. And what about this coming to reality, though?
Sorry, Donnie, I had to step out real quick.
No,
I'm
we're
back.
good, brother.
Have you heard about Project 2025? Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman and welcome back to Illustrate to Educate. In this video, we'll dive into everything you need to know about Project 2025, including 5 criticisms. Remember, if you disagree with Project 2025 or its criticisms, please don't dislike the video, but instead respectfully comment your thoughts below. Project 2025, led by the Heritage Foundation, is a comprehensive initiative designed to prepare for a potential conservative administration starting in January 2025. It is structured around 4 main pillars: policy development, personnel recruitment, training, and strategic planning for the early days of the new administration. Here's a more detailed breakdown of each component. First, let's look at the policy agenda. The Conservative Promise is a detailed policy guide that provides specific recommendations for governing major federal agencies. The guide encompasses conservative solutions to various issues, including economic policies, healthcare, education, and national security. It is intended to serve as a blueprint for the next conservative administration, ensuring that key conservative values and strategies are implemented effectively from the outset. The second pillar is the personnel database. Project 2025 includes a comprehensive personnel database aimed at identifying and vetting potential appointees for various positions within the federal government. This database seeks to ensure that a future conservative administration has a pool of qualified, ideologically aligned individuals ready to fill key roles. The recruitment efforts span across different sectors and backgrounds, targeting experienced professionals who can execute the administration's agenda efficiently. The third part is the training through the Presidential Administration Academy. To prepare the identified personnel for their roles, Project 2025 has established the Presidential Administration Academy. This academy offers a range of training programs including workshops, seminars, online courses, and mentorship from former administration officials. The training is designed to equip future administrators with the necessary skills and knowledge to implement conservative policies effectively. Fourth is the 180-day playbook. The 180-day playbook is a strategic document outlining the immediate actions to be taken by the new administration within the first 180 days. This playbook is crafted to enable swift policy reversals and the implementation of conservative priorities, ensuring a smooth and impactful start. It includes specific actions for various departments and agencies, focusing on undoing the policies of the previous administration and setting the stage for long-term conservative governance. Now let's talk about the coalition and organizational structure. Project 2025 is supported by a coalition of over 100 conservative organizations, including think tanks, advocacy groups, and academic institutions. This broad coalition brings together diverse expertise and resources to support the project's goals. Notable participants include former officials from the Trump administration who contribute their experience and insights to the project. There are specific policy focus areas in Project 2025. Project 2025 proposes significant changes to federal policies on reproductive health. These include removing references to abortion from federal laws and regulations, reversing the approval of abortion pills, and defunding clinics that provide abortion or contraception.
Yes, sir.
A lot of the people that are within these think tanks and these coalition, former Trump cronies. Trump cronies. So remember when we talked about a Republican trifecta with the House, the Senate, and the presidency? Imagine how easy it would be to do some of this shit if they won. So link it back to how important it is that does Biden, they need to make a fucking decision on Biden quick. Yeah?
Yeah, yes, because a lot of Democrat senators on these swing states are really in jeopardy of losing their position because of dumbass Joe. Dumbass
Yeah,
Joe.
and they said something about key 17. But just imagine, just think about that and how easy. And remember some of the bullshit that got through with the Democrats had control of both houses there for a little while. And Kamala, how many tiebreakers did Kamala do? She's one of the ones that did the most for VP, ain't she?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Think of all the stupid
Yes.
shit they passed through the end. So, but this Project 2025, I mean, some of this stuff it's a little bit out there. I don't think you'd ever get that. And even the Republican Party, they're backing away from some of this. When it comes to the abortion, like they're talking right now, hey, it's a woman's choice. They're really backing up. So I don't think that. But another thought that comes to mind, though, is we'll get back to the video, is I thought, where's the separation of church and state? Does the church not recognize that anymore either? Because it sounds like the church is going, this ain't the Vatican, homie. You're going a little far for me, but play some more video.
Yeah. Well, hold up. Yeah, throw that video back up.
Services. The initiative also aims to reinstate the Comstock Act to ban mail-order abortions and reshape Medicaid to avoid funding reproductive health care services that include abortion. Another focus area is cultural and social issues. The project emphasizes the restoration of traditional family values and religious principles. This includes opposing policies perceived as supporting cultural Marxism and promoting a pro-life agenda. It advocates for policies that support the nuclear family, religious liberty, and traditional gender roles. There's also the leadership of Project 2025, which is directed by Paul Dans, a former chief of staff at the Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, with Spencer Sherteen serving as associate director. Both bring extensive experience from their previous roles in government, contributing to the strategic planning and execution of the project. So what are the criticisms of Project 2025? Project 2025 has sparked significant criticism from various sources. Critics argue that the project embodies a comprehensive plan to centralize executive power, erode democratic norms, and enforce a far-right agenda on American governance and society. Let's take a look at 5 specific criticisms in more detail. First is the centralization of executive power. One major criticism is that Project 2025 seeks to expand presidential control over the federal bureaucracy. The plan includes reviving the Schedule F classification, which would allow the president to replace thousands of civil service employees with political appointees loyal to the administration. Critics argue this would undermine the nonpartisan nature of the civil service and politicize federal agencies, making them tools of the executive branch rather than independent entities. Second is the attack on democratic institutions. Critics highlight that Project 2025's...
No, think I'm over here trying to get pause.
Go back, don't go back on the video. Just think about what they just said, though, when he talked about the declassification of Schedule F. So now you got to vet these people, right? Remember before in some of their other, when we first saw the little thing about 2025, they got to build the database. Everything relies on a database that they build, right? So what do you think they can use that database for? Whatever the fuck they want to later, probably, right? Because they already build it. They already have it. They don't ask us. So, you know what I mean? Just an easy way to control if you have the keys to the database. But in other ways, too, if he takes those out, now who's going to vet these people? And who's the authority person to, get rid of these federal people and put them in as appointees? Because now they have to be approved by somebody, by a committee, right? So yes. How many of those oh, come on. You're going to clog up an already overburdened system with more appointees? Do you think that's going to fucking work?
No.
But you could build cronies that you could basically be a little mini dictator. Because there's a little part about some of this, they talk about Hungary in the good comparison of what Trump wants. But go ahead, Blazin. Demons, go.
I just all this Project 25 is one. It's cannon fodder for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
2, we don't need to rewrite the Constitution. We all as Americans need to just reread it. That's all. And in defense of Trump, it's been made publicly known by Marco Rubio, which is a real good vice presidential candidate. I don't know what he's got, but he's been polling up there pretty good. And Tim Scott saying, no, Trump is not on board with Project 2025.
Yeah, I know. They're all distancing themselves. They nobody wants to do it. And the people that own it want to get rid of it. But this is the kind of craziness that comes out of these think tanks at sometimes. Because half this shit would not fucking work what they're saying on there, you know?
Yes, sir.
It won't fucking work.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and it's attack on democratic institutions. The Democrats, anytime you talk bad at them, it's an attack. They could just sit in front of you and absolutely do the wrong thing. You could tell them they're doing the wrong thing, and they're going to say you're attacking me. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you you're doing the wrong thing. They're too damn sensitive as it is. So, I mean, you got to take some of that with a grain of salt.
But the Democrats won't, though, dude. They won't.
But that's the sad state of our political system as it is now. You know what I mean? Because if there's truth to it. I mean, shit. You got to run with it. But I just don't see how they're going to play this off on Trump. But Trump has openly said he's going to do something. So let's see what else is on that video.
Blueprint includes proposals to dismantle or weaken key democratic institutions. This includes plans to defund the Department of Justice and dismantle the FBI and other agencies that could act as checks on presidential power. Such moves are seen as efforts to undermine the rule of law and enable the executive branch to operate with little oversight or accountability. Third, the project also faces criticism for its potential use of government power to target political opponents and critics. There are fears that it would enable the executive to pursue legal action against political adversaries and critical media outlets, drawing parallels to authoritarian regimes where dissent is suppressed through state mechanisms. The fourth criticism is the social and cultural agenda.
Didn't that guy, what did he say earlier on the other video? He called it lawfare, right?
Yes.
That little video where he showed with the guy with the foot trying to step on somebody, looks exactly like what Joe Biden and the FBI and everybody else just did. And there's once again, there's another area where no, you're not going to dismantle the FBI. They're needed, but there definitely has to be some overhaul in operations and what's operationally what's right and wrong. You know what I mean?
I am definitely a strong proponent of the FBI, and I think we need to get them out of the hornet's nest and move them out to another state, man. I don't know why I want them out of DC. I know.
I could see that because that's another thing too. At what point does with today's technology and everything we got, there's no reason that these agencies can't have their headquarters a little more spread out and it's a little more strategic for us. And there's that, that we call it who's got the bigger stick contest or who's got the, biggest. You get that bullshit little, I guess, rivalry, not rivalry, but you got to outdo each other. We're better, you're better. You know what I mean? You saw it in the Army. You see it a lot in football teams, whatever, competition. But at some point, it breeds into just it's not productive. You know what I mean? So yes. That would make sense. You guys can still communicate, link together. Come on, you're smiting father's horses anyway. So get smaller yourself. We fight now. More agile, more mobile. I can see that.
and if I was a little fly on the wall asking for my recommendation, and I move them to a central time zone.
Why? Once again, you don't need them all in the same time zone. Why?
No, I'm talking. No, I'm talking the headquarters, man. Oh, so you could be more conducive to the East Coast and the West Coast.
Right. But we act like
it's
those
just.
are.
Go ahead, man.
But we act like those are 9 to 5 organizations in this you talk to them. No, those aren't 9 to 5. They're open 24/7. So, yeah, it might take you a little while because it's night, whatever. But it's not like it's closed or something. So I don't think the whole having the just be more get out of Washington D.C. and get away from the politics. That's what you really want. Because if you're going to have the politics in D.C., have the judicial system and everybody else outside of that, so there's no influence. So there's no reason where I can just, let me fly out to Kansas to take the judge out to eat. No, it's not so easy to go just pick you up an hour away. You know what I mean? I could see that point.
Hey, so I want to get back to the Department of Education. I found a beautiful spreadsheet. It's got estimated and actuals. Give me a state you want me to research. Any state.
For what?
To see how much money these states are getting.
How much does Texas get?
Texas? All right.
Yeah. Because that's all tied
to the estimate. All right. So here's the programs, okay, that they're funded. State agency program, migrant, state agency program, neglected and delinquent, basic support payments for children with disability and aid construction. I could see that. But there was one here. Here we go. Pell Grants, federal Pell Grants. That shit takes a big bite of the budget of what Texas received. So the 2023 actual was $12 billion.
In grants?
$12 billion. That's why they don't want the Department of Education to go anywhere. And then you got other states, i.e. Nevada. Which one? English language acquisition for Nevada. They funded them $8 million.
Yes, because wonder how much of that's discretionary. See, that's the kind of funding you need to tell people where it's going. We need to see where that's going as a taxpayer. I don't pay for it. I know, and you're asking for too much. I know that's asking for too much because there's no way you can honestly track, if it's my tax dollars going there. But I think at some point there's a level of transparency to say, hey, all right, this big corporation, you know how shit trickles down. You know what I mean? So it always gets chopped up, but you can at least show what companies got their chop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I think you could do that at least. Like company Dave's Automotive got, 10 grand for fixing government cars. I don't know, something. But I think that's where the biggest problem people have with some of the government agencies, the transparency more than anything.
All right, Donnie. I think we had enough of fun for tonight. You done?
No, I thought we were going to finish out that video. We'll just finish out that video real quick and get it done.
Okay. Blazeman, please.
You wanted to finish it out.
Project 2025's policy agenda includes strong positions on social issues, promoting conservative values that critics argue could roll back rights and protections for various groups. The document outlines plans to restrict LGBTQ+ rights, enforce strict anti-abortion measures, and integrate Christian nationalist principles into government policy. This agenda has raised concerns about the erosion of civil liberties and the imposition of a particular religious and ideological framework on the entire nation. Lastly is the environmental and climate policy rollbacks. The project's stance on environmental regulations is contentious. It proposes significant rollbacks of climate policies, which critics argue would have detrimental effects on efforts to combat climate change and protect the environment. This aspect of the plan is seen as catering to business interests at the expense of long-term ecological sustainability. Did you find this video about Project 2025 to be helpful? Remember not.
Okay, so
yes,
the cultural and the climate change stuff, we all know Trump's about oil and all that, and we know that's going to happen. So he's all about drilling and letting them boys make money. But I think some of that can stick around though, because there was some good things about it as far as trying to, renewable energy and stuff like that we can use to fund ourselves. I don't think they'd be that stupid to take that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? I think Trump's going to be smarter this time.
I got $1 million question for you and anybody out there. So to be a good conservative, do you have to have Christian values? And if you don't need Christian values, what values do you have? Because I hate when they do that, because then they put Christians and non-Christians in different classes. Go ahead, Donnie.
Well, I don't know what Christian values are, so I don't pay attention, so I can't answer your question. I really can't. What is the difference between, the adjective Christian compared to some other values? As long as if you're in what we're talking about, like politics and all this other stuff, if you're doing your job and doing what you're supposed to by the people that put you there, you shouldn't have these problems. You shouldn't have these worries. And if you just, I don't care wherever you read, you can take in Islam, the religion of Islam, and you can take Christianity, but in the middle of all of those, and Buddhism and every other religious and other so-called fraction, or break off, whatever, there's always something about you treat the other human being with some common courtesy and you take care of the other human being. They all talk about that in every religion. So there's always something in common there, bro.
All righty.
Eat that value.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we'll see.
All righty.
I'm good for tonight, man. We'll holler about this other project. We'll see what goes on, but I really think it's been a good time. And think positive, do positive. And thanks for talking to you a little bit. Good night. Y'all have a good one.
Yes. All righty. Everybody, thank you. Y'all have a good night, and thank you for watching.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
You have just watched an FFN Network production.